go. It's the DeMatteo show today. Get excited. I'm here. My baby brother's here. And you know it's going to be a lot of noise, a lot of laughs, and a lot of dimples for sure. So welcome back to Hearing Things with Julie and Brad. I'm going to hit it over to my youngest brother, Joe. Tell us your name, Joe, even though I just said it. Who are you? What's your relationship to me? What's the birth order? Any little intro? Go for it.
My name is Joseph. I am the youngest of three. You are the oldest of three. And, yeah, I'm your brother.
All right. My baby bro. All right, Joe, I'm just going to jump into questions, and I know we gave you the preview, so I'm going to go through this in order. You ready? Here we go. What do you like best about me, your deaf and hard of hearing sibling? I'll just sit back and wait. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, we share a similar reality, I think, you know, when it comes to other people and dealing with other people. So there's a kinship for sure. You know, you faced adversity, so you're a tough nut to crack. So as a younger brother, trying to aggravate you and getting you to crack is wonderful. It's like a challenge. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you know, growing up with an Italian mom and an older Italian sister, I dated 0 Italian women. So I think that, you know, you were enough for me.
So, a serious question. What is your earliest memory of realizing that I had hearing aids, that I was hearing impaired? Like, was it ever something that you had a moment of, like an aha moment, as Oprah would say, about my hearing loss? Or was it just something that was always there? Like, talk to me a little bit about your earliest memories.
Quoting Oprah. You always had hearing aids. I don't think it was ever, you know, it was never used as an excuse or a thing. I mean, you might, you know, I think swimming was the thing, probably going swimming and the big deal about your hearing aids. But no, you always had them. It was never a big deal, which was nice. I mean, because like for me, growing up with that was, you know, firsthand experience on, you know, what it's like to deal with something that not everybody has.
Right. All right. Did you do any accommodations for me as a kid?
Yeah. Yep.
So tell me about accommodations you did when we were kids, and then what you find yourself doing now, and if they've changed at all, or if they're still pretty much the same. So talk to me a little bit about that.
Accommodations were like having to do with your hearing impairment?
Yes, Joe. That's what the show is about.
No, not much. Not much. Not as much as the other stuff. The
other stuff.
Oh, yeah. I've been sanctioned. My opinions have been sanctioned by both of you. Don't act surprised. No, it's just the talking. You know, I'm a mumbler, so speaking up and slowing down. Speaking up and slowing down.
Yeah, that's true.
And then, you know, just being aware of, yeah, I can tell sometimes when you're struggling. Maybe I can tell when you're faking it. 99% of the time I'm faking it at the same time, and it has nothing to do with a hearing issue. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, it was always an easy thing to tease you about. So I think we had a very healthy, you know, sense of humor about it. I mean, as healthy as any of the sense of humors we had growing up, but I think it was a way of kind of just leveling the playing field.
I would say there's a lot of normalizing that went on about that. It was like, yeah, this just happens to be something you have, and too bad for you. That's it.
Yeah,
nothing's off the table in terms of laughing or, you know, figuring stuff out like that out.
It was never an excuse, you know. It was one thing that parents and relatives never made an excuse out of it. It was you know, it was you know, just like if somebody, you know, it's not the same as wearing glasses, but we certainly treated it very similar.
Yeah, no, that's very true, and we're better off for that, honestly. Like, there was just like, yeah, okay, you happen to wear hearing aids, and get back out there. You know, let's go. You know, get your work done. Do whatever. We don't want to hear it. There's no time for a pity party in the DeMatteo house. You know, which I appreciate. It's maybe who I am.
As better off as anybody can be with their childhood. Yes. I mean.
Question. Actually, this is a question that's not on the list.
Uh-oh.
With your kids, so I'm very close with Joe's 2 kids. I'm godmother to both, and the oldest is named after me, which is so awesome. And his second is very miniature. You should have waited. You should have waited to name the second one after me, because she is me, man. She is me to a T. Has the kids ever brought it up to you? My hearing loss? Or I remember when Jules was probably about 2. He wasn't quite talking. He was younger than 2 then. He was mobile, but he was walking by me, and he kept looking at my hearing aid and doing this with his ear. And they kept looking at me. So it was before he was speaking. And I just remember that moment, and I think I tried to tell him in like little kid, baby language as much as I could. But I don't know if they've ever brought it up directly to me, but they are very accommodating when I ask them to slow down or look at me and speak, or speak a little bit louder and repeat something. But is it something that they've ever talked about or brought up?
I mean, it's not a foreign concept. They actually have a kid in school with cochlear implants. So it's certainly not something anybody shies away from talking about. But no, I mean, the only times I have to address it is like, slow down, she can't hear you.
Mostly on FaceTime or when they're on the phone and I can't see them is when I have a harder time hearing them. But they've always been great in person, like.
They're very loud. Look
at me, whatever, slow down.
They've inherited the voice from our mother.
Yes, they have.
They're very loud. They're articulate.
Yes, they have. Dad said...
I mean, we'll see. It'll be interesting when they turn into teenagers. And,
Did I tell you what Dad said the other day about his hearing aids? He goes, I can hear everything except your mother's voice.
I know. He lost that exact range.
Right. I have mid-tone too, right? The mid-tone deafness is speech range. It doesn't matter how much you boost.
The higher. No, he literally lost that higher register.
Did he?
Right. Oh yeah.
He lives. Oh yeah.
Just that. All these years. Oh my god.
Yeah. No, I mean, look at the graph. It's like.
So we talked
she can't hear him
about
either.
humor and teasing. Oh, sorry.
He was still going. Yeah.
I was saying that she can't hear him either, but it has nothing to do with hearing loss. They've been together for 51 years. They're amazing at staying together.
They are amazing. That's right. It's really
crazy. They can't be together, but they're amazing at staying together. So.
We touched on this a little bit about humor and teasing playing a role in our interactions, and that continues as adults. But I want to switch gears a little bit. Do you feel any responsibility for me with regards to my hearing loss? In terms of my safety as I get older and navigating the world as I get older. Not so much when we were kids because there's that 7-year age gap. But now that we're adults and I'm more of an equal playing field, do you worry about me at all with relation to my hearing? Not everything else, but relation to my hearing. Is it something that you think about as I get older, as we get older together?
I just, I think I've made it. You said that we're on a level playing field. I don't know. You were always the older sister. I mean, I think, other things, would come into play before even your hearing loss.
Mm-hmm.
It's because...
it's like natural aging and all that kind of stuff.
It's the way you drive. I mean, I guess it's obviously more dangerous than anything that could happen with your hearing loss. So, I think, again, we look at it sort of... it's probably a double-edged sword, but we don't look at it as like anything. Maybe you just present so well and you deal with it so well.
Yeah.
I was talking to one of my son's early childhood teachers, and because he's at the same school, and she was asking about it. She said, "How's your sister?" And I said, "Oh, she's doing great. She's doing a podcast now. Because she's hard of hearing." She's like, "She's hard of hearing?"
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like what? Like she'd met you before, I don't know, a couple times probably, but again, you present, so well and so strong that it's an afterthought sometimes. So,
sure.
Which, again, blessing and a curse probably.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's a whole other show. But yeah,
right.
No, you're right. Well, that's good. Do you worry about me at all? With regards to the hearing loss.
No, I mean, you've mentioned that it's going, so yeah, I'm obviously, concerned. But you tell me how to help you.
Right.
So
right. We don't know until we're up against it what I'm going to need or what we should or shouldn't worry about. That's true. But yeah, it is going. And the scary thing is that it's through my life, we never know when it's going to drop. Like, there's never been a predictable pattern. I've gone 10 years with stable hearing and then right off the cliff. So I'm glad that you brought that up. It's true. I mean, that is something that keeps me awake at night.
Yeah, but that's something I didn't know either. So it's like, a lot of the info you've kind of kept.
Yeah.
I haven't had much success with the women in our family, like, being forthright, trying to help them. It's usually, it's very, very reactionary. So usually success.
She needs a minute.
I come from a large.
Yesterday.
Yeah, I come from a strong matriarchal family that I'm born into and married into. So I'm no fool.
It's true. Oh my gosh. What's one of your funniest memories about dealing with me, either related to or not related to the hearing loss? I'll give you that one.
You're opening it up?
Opening it up. God help us all. Go for it.
It's the digital hearing aids. I've mentioned this to you before.
That's right.
You picked up your condenser mics, your first condenser mics, and you were driving. You had a T-Bird. That was when you had that that
T-Bird.
light brown colored T-Bird.
Funny, can I interrupt though? Deirdre.
Yeah.
That was her mother's car.
What?
Yes.
No.
I bought it. I bought a T-Bird for $800. I
$800,
tattooed on his
seriously.
mother's car.
That was It was not. It's not like $800 like a long time ago when that was like a lot of money. It was like post inflation $800.
I love that car so much. Oh, I love it.
It moved. It was rear wheel drive. So
Anyway,
you were driving.
That thing was awesome.
Well, no, because you're gullible. So I told you that you could possibly pick up radio signals with your new hearing aids, which doesn't make any sense because they were digital. So there's no antenna in them, but. You still fell for it. It's like, not one guy, don't want it. You can't hear me if I have my hand over my mouth. So, and you were driving. So. That's the best. That was the best.
That's funny.
That and when you read Steve Cooley, can I say his name? Steve Cooley's lips across from the football field. Or he's talking trash about you or hitting on somebody. I don't remember. You were dating him.
That's right.
Yeah, Mom talked about you just marching all the way across the field.
That's true. Don't mess with me. No, Steve, if you're watching, you probably remember the story too. If not, I will send this to you. All right.
It's scarred into him, I'm sure.
Any advantages or disadvantages of having a sibling with a disability?
I think there's an advantage to, again, you get that primary source of struggle, and life is full of it. But to see it in a physical manifestation and to see somebody overcome it,
sure,
that's huge. So it's hard to have excuses about other things when that's,
right.
that's around. I mean, there are a lot of unseen handicaps that some of us may or may not struggle with, but to see it physically manifested, and we've talked about how the world isn't made for. When people say the world's not made for ADA people, well, the world's not really made for anybody to succeed. Sometimes it seems, life is suffering, right? We thought, you got the yin yang on your shirt, so you get it, and
I got mine now.
there it is. There it is. So you get stronger with the struggle.
Yeah.
Good point.
No, that's true. Relative to my hearing loss,
I love the preface.
I have to, because DeMatteo go off the rails very easily. Have you ever been embarrassed by me relative to my hearing loss? I know there are 50 other stories we could probably tell right now, but you've never had a moment where you're like, like, oh my God, my sister didn't hear this again, or oh, I'm so embarrassed because she needs something repeated.
No,
like that. I know there's plenty of other opportunities you can narrow.
No, because we always talk about playing the death card or whatever you're going to say. I mean, I'm probably not PC. You probably can't say that, but I mean, playing any card. We live in a. Let me get on my feminist soapbox, but there's still a patriarchal white male dominant society going on.
That was our dinner conversation this
talking
evening.
about
Yes.
that. Yeah.
I'm looking like an overgrown Harry Potter at it, so I'm not complaining. It's just, if being embarrassed, somebody's going to try to make you feel, I'd probably be more concerned about you feeling embarrassed. I don't think you've ever felt embarrassed in a situation regarding your hearing loss.
Nope.
I think we laugh at pretty much anything. So
that's true. No, we can make anything funny. Like really.
I mean, again, I've known
Dire,
times
sick
where
sense of humor.
I can remember times where strangers will just start talking to us in public, and we'll both be like, "Oh, yeah, okay." And Julie's like, what were they saying? I had no idea what that was. Like, I wasn't listening either. It doesn't matter. It's like, whatever they were saying, trust me, you weren't missing it. I think I'll let you go, because there's a part of it that, again, it's like blessing and a curse, but like, you would shut your ears off.
Right.
When you get upset enough at us.
Mm-hmm.
You shut your ears off, and I'd always think like, that's actually pretty. Wouldn't be a bad little skill to have every once in a while.
I mean, for those that don't know, Joe's a professional drummer. So growing up in a house with a drummer for a brother, I had the advantage of being able to just, when he practiced, just shut things off a little bit, listen to the banging. Oh my God. Do you feel that you treat people with disabilities differently based on your experiences having a sister with a disability?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think, I think the difference is I don't treat them differently, so I also don't try to go out of my way to quote unquote help them. Good. Because it's like, I don't know, you got your world, man. Like, that's your world. If I'm a part of it, let me know. Or, if I'm friends with you, then obviously we all help we all help our friends out. But
you don't find yourself in a position where you're almost overly accommodating or overly aware.
I don't know if I ever told you this story, but because I was a special ed teacher too, right? I was a special ed teacher and a drama. I do neither of those two things now. So I must have been really good at it. There was a guy I worked with who had cerebral palsy. Now, he never told me he did, but like I knew he did. My wife's a neurologist. I knew he had it. Like it's but like his IQ, again, people with cerebral palsy for a long time were assumed they had low IQs. Now this guy obviously didn't. He's fully functioning, very, very vocal, very, very social. He's a salesman. And this one kid in our office started dropping the R word. Oh. And he flipped. He freaked out. And for me, I'm like, dude, like, you can't say that. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I was a special ed teacher, but at the same time, like, just knowing that, I've seen the pain, right? Mm-hmm. You've seen the pain up close. Sure. So that obviously affected him. But for me, it was like, yeah, you don't, like, you hate, like, duh, but that's not everybody's experience,
That's a good point.
It's just a word.
No.
Yeah, I guess.
Words have power.
Words have power.
Well, I talk about going off the rails when I was teaching the high school kids, and they'd start dropping the N-bomb, and not saying, and they'd be like, I didn't say the R at the end. So I'd say the R word without the R at the end. You can't call me that. I go, wait, whoa. I didn't say the R at the end. Like, DeMatteo, what we're talking about. Like, you just can't, you know what I mean? Like, to everybody, you got to be sensitive to people's, at least when you're in a small environment, like, or we have to see somebody every day. Because people who have to see each other every day, and they're like, why should I have to watch what I say? I'm like, have you ever been in a relationship? Like, come on. Like, what's up? But, no, I've never been embarrassed for you.
Was that the question?
Didn't stop you from screaming, yeah. The other funny story is our cousin's wedding. Matt's wedding. When I was playing drums, I sat in playing drums. You go, that's my brother. You remember that?
I had a couple of white Russians. Yeah. They're still talking about that. That wedding was over 20-something years ago. Still talking about
video.
that.
You left them out.
You can hear it. You can hear it on video.
Yep. Always.
On the wedding video.
Anything else you want to add about life with your fabulous older sister?
It's much better since we don't live next to each other or something. I'm just kidding. We were all right. So you left college. I was alone with mom and dad for a while, and it was phenomenal. And then you came back, and that was all right, actually. I think
I'd say that was when our relationship shifted a little
school.
bit from being like caretaking to a younger sibling and getting more on an equal plane, like towards the end of
we
your high
definitely
school
hang
when I
out.
was
Yeah.
home. And I think that's when we really got closer.
Well, I mean, I think the couple of BC parties you brought me to when I was 12.
You know, I hold the record for bringing the youngest person to a BC party.
How old was he?
12.
12. Nice.
I was already playing gigs. It was nothing I hadn't seen before. You know, like that was probably the more well-behaved.
Yep. I know all my college friends still think Joe's like 14.
Oh, really? You just stopped aging?
Because they just can't get it in his head that he's married with 2 kids and he's 43. Like, they just can't. Because he was always a little brother, you know? So it's funny.
Why are you gonna drop my age like that?
Don't worry, I'm
going out
43
to
same
public.
age.
I'm a 43 too.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah,
I feel you.
He enjoys reminding me that I'm also 7 years old. I hear that frequently.
I got you back.
Yeah, that's good.
Anything else for now, Joe? I think that's it for me. We're going to go to book recommendations next. If you have anything else you want to toss my way.
Hearing related?
Oh wow.
Hearing related, please.
I don't think so. I think this is I didn't get over emotional here. I don't want to start crying. I did write a recommendation for you for the youth of America.
Nice.
I think that's one thing is that I never shied away from being a good press,
That's true.
good support for you, because I always felt like you were worth talking about. I still think you are worth talking about. I tell my therapist that all the time. You like that? No, you are. I mean, you've done a lot with done a lot. I mean, the fact that you still work with kids.
Oh, they're the best.
It's incredible.
It's so much fun. 29 years, special education teacher. 29
I don't
years.
think-
I
yeah.
can't believe it.
And I mean, you think about those kids having a teacher that right, like with the hearing aids, and
Yep.
they know thing.
Yep.
Being deathly afraid of you at the same time. So it's like, it's perfect. They know the power one can wield, despite a difference.
You know what I thought of talking about me and never shying away from that? Were you in 2nd or 3rd grade when you brought me in for show and tell?
Ah!
Yeah.
3rd grade, I think. Right? Was it 3rd grade?
Yeah, it's probably, yeah.
Brilliant. He brought me in for show and tell. I was in high school. Mom picked me up at the high school, drove me over to Harrington Elementary. I went to Joe's class. I talked about my hearing aids in the 3rd grade, and then she brought me back to high school. I was the show and tell item.
Yeah, you are. I mean, I don't like to praise you very much, but I am proud of you.
Thank you. I'm proud of you too.
Are you?
I am in this moment. Yeah. A little bit.
It changes moment to moment.
A little bit.
I think we've made it through this.
Joe.
Yeah.
I thought of this because I'd given you I think I gave Julian the book for Christmas when he was a baby. Emmet Otter's Jug-Band Christmas.
Yeah.
Finally saw it.
Awesome. I had
You'd
never seen it.
before.
I had never seen it.
I know a lot of people haven't. It's crazy.
It was awesome.
I just said it tonight. So tomorrow night we got to watch Emmet Otter's because Friday night's movie night. So and Sophia wants to set up a treat, so I figure let's do it.
Awesome.
Sophia literally, my daughter just took like a bunch of old toys and wrapped them up in presents. She's gonna give it to all of us.
She's the best.
I love it. That's
best.
great, honey. If you're
So anyway, want to do your book recommendation first?
Because
the reason I say this, I was going to pull Emmet Otter's Jug-Band Christmas book for my book choice, and then I realized, wait a minute, I gave it to Julian when he was a baby. Joe had it, and then I realized he starts to the ADHD brain going. This is DeMatteo brain right here, right?
The connections.
It's all over the place. So anyway, I'll stop talking. Let your book recommendation go.
It's not our fault that we're 4 steps ahead of everybody else.
Exactly. It's an intelligence, and we see things coming before they happen.
I'm already done with that conversation.
That's right.
Oh, nice.
It's the Powerful Engagement. It's I hate to call it a self-help book, but it's based on it's research-based, high athletic performance, but it's all about energy management and the ability to manage energy, not time. It says it right here. If you can see it, is the key to high performance and personal renewal.
There you go.
I really like it because of the personal renewal, because it's all about taking breaks and getting your energy back up and getting it ready as well as expending it. And
Cool. Sounds good.
That's something I need.
That's a good one.
Because I just go until I wear myself out.
Most people do. And I really do feel like I can get more done in a couple hours that some people can, get done in like a couple more hours.
Right.
Because they're just, just got to be focused. You got to focus the energy. I mean, sometimes it's timing, but other times it's, some days are slower than others. So got to take opportunities to take breaks. And
I got to work on that. That's my resolution for 2025 is to rest, deliberate rest.
Doesn't take much.
I'm good at it.
True.
Outside, get some air, pet the dog.
Yep, it's
right
true.
there.
Yep, it's over there. So my pick, ready? Nostalgic pick. Look what there it is, Return of the Jedi storybook. This was ours when we were little. It went down from me all the way down to you, and it is still phenomenal. And I will die on the hill, but this is still my favorite Return of the Jedi. I did watch Empire.
You did.
I did rewatch Empire, so I understand the storyline is better.
Empire's better.
But Return of the Jedi is my
More
hands down
aesthetic.
favorite. Always will be. And this book is just a classic. It's so awesome. So I saw this on my bookshelf, and I got to pull this out for Joe.
That's awesome.
I do want to take out all my Star Wars toys one day. No, Brad and I are going to do that over the winter.
Yeah, we'll
take
play.
out, get everything. Play a little bit. It'll be fun. And also, Joe, I don't know if you know, but I even have everything, all the notes for a show, Star Wars.
Oh,
notes.
nice. There you go.
I'm coming out of the Star Wars closet.
Wow.
I'm out. I have taken a step
Welcome.
forward because let's face it, when you first meet me,
Yeah, it's true.
not the first thing you think of is Star Wars.
It is not.
I don't know. You always like to play the
Most
cool
of us
kid.
pretty
The
girls
BC,
like
the BC thing.
BC girl, what can I say?
Yeah, I know. All the eagles, screaming eagles out there. All right, Brad, what's yours?
All right, mine is right. Let's move on, huh? Mine is lies my teacher told me. So it's about what isn't taught in school, right? I think that a lot of the times we have.
Julie's
She'll be okay.
memoir.
I'm just gonna keep going. I'm used to this. I'm just gonna power through, let her giggle. So it's about like the textbooks only teach so much of topics, and every topic, every historical figure has more to it than that. And this is kind of like a hint of what's missing. So it's a good book. Did you hear any of that?
No. Helen Keller in there.
Oh, I don't know. I know I read something somewhere. I read about her because she definitely has a problematic history.
Oh, she's problematic. We can do a whole show on how
We will,
problematic
yeah.
Helen is.
I don't think it is. Yeah, it's not in this one. I read a book about Alexander Graham Bell, and she was in that. And there's a lot to do. There's a lot of controversy around her that kind of gets hushed up, and like this book really gets you thinking in that way. Because is she an inspiration? Maybe.
No.
Well, and some people just
my
know.
goodness. Wow. Okay. Alexander Graham Bell, I believe, started with getting dogs to talk. You ever see that? You got the dogs to move their mouths in certain ways.
Yeah, it was his father patented like a way to get people who can't hear to talk by pressing throats. There's a book, I can't remember the title. Yeah, exactly. Not with the force either, like physically. Theoretically you'd be able to tell what letter someone was saying by the vibrations of the vocal cords. But the problem with that is some syllables are voiceless, so the vocal cords don't move.
Exactly.
Yeah. So anyway,
voiced and non-voiced.
Lots of controversy around like historical figures, and he talks about idol worshiping, where it's harmful to everyone involved if your heroes don't have flaws, or the people that we hold up as role models don't have flaws, because that's unrealistic. Except flaws.
I was just going
to
say,
no flaws.
we really have to even have this discussion. That was exactly what I was about to say. I love that you knew that. Exactly what was going to come out of my mouth. I'm the exception. Clearly, statues should be made of me. Oh. Hey, Joe, today's Frank Sinatra's birthday.
Oh, well, there you go. 12/12.
Happy birthday, Francis Albert. So anyway.
How old would he have been?
That's it.
How old? Do you know how old he'd be today?
Well, he died in May 14th, 1998.
Whoa, really? He died on my birthday.
On your birthday. You don't remember this? I got up and got ready to go to work. You and Mom were in the living room because I was still living at home at the time, and I was teaching in Newton. And I came down the hall, and you and Mom were sitting there very seriously, like I thought, a family member was dead. And you looked at Mom and you went, "Who's gonna tell her?" And Mom's like, "You tell her." And you're like, "Julie, Frank died." I lost it.
And you knew without the last name, you knew there was only one Frank. Is Frank like a single name?
I lost it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Sobbing. I got to school, and one of my fourth grade students, I was working in a fourth grade classroom at the time, bought me a box of Junior Mints because he knew I loved them. He's like, "We heard Frank died on the radio." Oh. Junior Mints was the cutest thing. It was so sweet. Oh, yeah, it was a bad day. Bad day. But yes, Frank would have been 100 something. I don't know the math off the top of my head because I can't math.
Can't math.
No, he can't either. It's
No
bad.
math.
It's a bad combo.
Yeah.
We had to take out the calculator to figure out how old Brad was when he started meditating at 19.
True story.
Couldn't figure it out.
I own my flaws.
I still don't know the number, but we had to punch it in the face to figure it out. Oh my God, too much. All right, well, Josh's getting a little crazy. We're going to hop off and move on with our night, and we'll let you get back to doing what you need to do. Yeah. Say hi to my two favorite little people from me. And hopefully I'll see them soon.
I think you should use the track I gave you and start it when the organ goes. Start it there.
There you go. Well, we look forward to working with you with music, and hopefully at some point working with you on getting the word out in a bigger way about what we do when we're ready. And we're speaking at a conference in March, which is awesome. I don't know what we're saying, but we're speaking at a conference.
Exciting.
We'll figure it out.
You're gonna talk about.
God knows I can talk.
Yeah, really.
The word
I'm
out.
just gonna set her up there and let her go.
Let it run. All right, we're going to sign off now, Joe. We appreciate you taking the time.
Thanks, Joe.
Miss you very much. I'll see you in about another month up here in Boston.
Much better behaved. You're welcome.
You did great. Recording show isn't over yet. All right, bye, brother.
Bye.
Love you.
Thanks again.
Bye.